Afternoon, back in the shed. Let's stop calling it a workshop, it is just a shed. Alright, anyway, back in the shed and went out on my new bike this morning, and this afternoon I want to sort out the lights because this is an integrated rear light, brake light, indicators and number plate light. I discovered the number plate, or one of the number plate lights, was flashing the other day, which is no good. And also the indicators are too close together. They're 100mm apart, well probably less than that. We'll stick with that. 100mm apart as opposed to the 180mm that they need to be. So I think what I'm going to do is redo it all with, just reaching, with a new number plate light to go there, so then I ain't got to worry about this one flashing, and some new indicators which will be 180mm apart. And I don't think they look too, oh, let's get you there. I don't think they're going to look too bad. They'll be in a bit more than that. I'm going to keep them tight to the edge of this because I dare say I'll end up getting rid of this full size one and putting on a 8x6 instead without this bloody groombridges down the bottom. But I still need to retain the room to put a full size one back on for the MOT. So yeah, I thought that's what I'd do today. And these ones don't look too bad. They're sort of a bullet shape, so even from the side, let's get you in shot, even from the side they don't look too bad, I don't think. Sort of in keeping, sort of not, yeah, whatever. I think they'll be alright, and I can still get my luggage thing out. Very inventive, well done Suzuki. So yes, that's the plan, but this number plate bracket isn't big enough to accommodate the indicators and the new number plate light. I'm going to have to do a whole new bracket because this doesn't come out, it comes out to here, which isn't enough to fold some back for the indicator to bolt onto. So I need to make a whole new bracket and then mess with all the wiring, and the wiring was terrible. You've got these are the indicator wires going to the tail light, one yellow, one blue, single pin, obviously been pulled out of a plug of some type, and these are the factory ones, and these are both your power in and your earth, and someone's just jammed these in on the pin that it needs to be in and then just taped it up, which I've done some bodges, and that really is rude. Really is rude. So I'm gonna have a look to see if I've got any of these left on my wiring harness. This is what I used and this harness, I bought this, it was only about 20 quid or something ridiculous, and I bought it when I started doing my Gixxer 600 project, and I was cutting the wiring on that, and I was very afraid that I was going to get it completely wrong, so I bought a spare harness just in case, and I have used a few bits off of it. Oh, there's an indicator one, look at that, there you go. Even that's been doctored. Anyway, Need that. If I can find another one of them, I'll be laughing. There we go. Oh, that is fantastic. That really is fantastic. It's going to save me a lot of grief on the wiring, probably. Okay, that's them stripped down ready, and as I say, I'll just go with the indicator on that. I've got to glue that on as well, because that will definitely fall off. The rest of it looks waterproof, so that's okay. Sort of know what I'm doing there. The other thing I've got to check out is the wiring for the number plate light. So I've got to do a bit of testing, and I put my multimeter on 20 volts, and at the moment the ignition's off, so I shouldn't have anything coming from any of these. No. Now it's got brown wire going in to, we'll call it top right, and it's got a white and black wire going into the top left, and a black and white wire going into the bottom. The black and white I'm sure is the earth. So if I turn the ignition on, that's the ignition on, then the bottom one, if I stick a probe in there and stick the other one to earth, just on the framework there, just out of camera shot by the looks of it, I've got nothing on my dial, so that's got to be the earth. And that one's got to have power. Yep. And also I've taped my brake lever on, so the brake light should be working, so I should get power from that one as well. There we go, 12 volts. So I just need to ascertain now which one is, so I know that's the earth down the bottom. Let's just double check that. Put that to there, nothing. So it's got to be the earth. So now I know that's the earth, I can complete the circuit like that, which should give me my 12 volts. There you go. I'll just untape the brake lever. So all I've got now is the side light. So all I've got now is the tail light. So earth to earth, so I know that's definitely earth. And then one of these, let's zoom you in a bit. One of these will have power going to it, which will be my side light. Let's try that one. Nothing. That one. And there's my 11.69. So the brown wire is the side light. Right, so now I've found out what wiring does what, and I think instead of this big unit, I'm going to use two of the little number plate bolts, and that will assist in holding the bracket on as well. You'll see what I mean later, probably. And this danger drop is going to be the bracket. You cut that off there, and then shape it up here and bend the ends in so I can bolt the indicators to it, is the idea. So I need to cut that off and then start shaping. So next thing to do, take the old bracket off to give me an idea of measurements and where holes need to go. dodgy old self-tapper screw through the middle. Yeah, I don't know who's invented this, but quite the bodge. I don't mind a bodge, but yeah, nuts and bolts would have been better. Bloody self-tapper, animal. Anyway, I'll get the number plate taken off, and then I can use the bracket itself for measurements on my one. Okay, so I've had a measure up. Number plate holes are in the right place. The 3 holes at the top there are in the right place. Those 2 are for the number plate lights, and that one's just a fixing screw. So I'll have 2 of these number plate light bolts going through and into the under tray to hold it on, and then I'll put a securing bolt through, because there's already a hole from here that they put a self-tapper screw through. Disgrace. So I'm utilising the 3 holes that are already in it. The 2 number plate lights will be slightly off centre, but as I say, I want to utilise the holes that are in there. Now I've got a shape. Take this edge off here and then cut it along and shape it up either side, so it just leaves what I need, and then fold the sides in. Just to beautify it. Okay, that's the shape of it. We've got a few holes to drill, and then I'll put a softer flap disc on. That's a 40 grit. I think I'll put a 120 on or something, just to get rid of the rest of the burrs. A burr. Okay, all the holes are drilled to the right sizes. I've checked the relevant screws, threads to go through the relevant holes, he says. Not sure I tried the number plate light. Ideal. So yes, I did check all the holes to make sure everything goes through them. I've sanded it down. I'm putting, where is it? Tough black on it. Obviously, the paint of choice. But first of all, I'm going to use some brake cleaner and clean all the dust and grease and whatever else may be contaminating it, to give the tough black the best chance possible of adhering. Okay, I'll give that, I don't know, 10-15 minutes. Let's set a timer. Set a timer, and then in the meantime I'll start sticking some of this shit away. Okay, bracket's had 3 coats of tough black and it's still got my fingerprints in it. So while that's still curing or dry enough to touch without putting fingerprints in it, I'm going to solder these connectors on the indicators. Yes, I am. And I've cut the other 2 wires right down into there because I'm not going to need them. That's side light and brake light. As I say, the rear light is powerful enough that I'm not going to furk about putting that on. Furk about with the wiring. So old connectors off. Okay, so that's them soldered. I'm going to black tape them as well, just to doubly, triply make it beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, before I start wiring everything in and plugging everything in and doing all the bits you're meant to do, plug them in and see if they work. That'll be yes then. Excellent. See if this is dry enough. No. That'll be no then. So I'll have a bit of a clear up and leave that for a while. Oh dear, oh dear. With the number plate lights, I think I'm going to scotch them. Have I got any scotches? I'm sure Spider-Man's got some. Oh yeah, Spider-Man's got some. Got some little red ones as well. Because I want to link them in to the main electrics. I'm going to do it that way and see how long it lasts. So I'll have a tidy up, wait for that to dry, and then fit it all together. Possibly. Right, it's the next day. I've left the new bracket for the paint to cure. Nice few fingerprints in it. So what do I want to do? Attach to the number plate. give that a bit of a wipe off. Good enough. And then I'll chop a bit of each of them off. With the trusty Dremel. Like that. Beautiful. And then this should just about fit through the hole, like that. There was always going to be something, wasn't there? Bloody connection don't go through the nut. Ah, you shitbag. What if we screw it on? You fucking git. So I've just double checked that. That does, the connection does still connect and everything works beautifully. I've got to put a bit of nut locker on here. It's wet, innit? I think it's wet anyway. There you go, there's the two of those. I think I'll put them on afterwards. I'll get the little nut and bolt. What do I want? 2 7mm. Okay, so that's a 7mm, little 7mm bolt with a nylock nut on the back of it. Now, just possibly need to open up this side hole a little bit, but I'll get the number plate lights and see if they'll go. No, they both need, it's just offline by about a millimetre. So I'll get the 6mm drill, I think it was, and shove it through there. Right, there's to be no washer. There's not enough floor clearance for the washer. Okay, so that's the two bolts for the number plate lights and the little 7mm bolt at the top there, which is probably the main holder of it all. I mean, it all holds it, but the 7mm at the top, I say 7mm, it's not, is it? It's a 4mm, 7mm nut, 4mm bolt. I think it's a 4mm. Anyway, 4mm stainless steel A2 grade bolt, if you want specifics, through, and then the two number plate bolts. So I've just got to pull through the indicator wiring. There's one. There's two. Marvellous. And it all looks quite tidy down the back there. So now just wiring it in, and as I say, I think I'm going to use Scotch locks to wire the number plate light into these main wires. Obviously I've put the plugs on the indicators so they'll fit straight in and work perfectly first time, obviously. Just check that's the right side, and yes, that is the right side. Marvellous. Try the other side. Oh, and that only works as well. And then side profile, I don't think that looks too bad with that shaped indicator. Do I need to bend it up a bit? I can't see that tyre coming up that much to hit the number plate, but might be worthy of a bend. Anyway, let's get the number plate wired in. Number plate light wired in. Might hopefully don't blow any fuses. So, two number plate lights, back light, and we got brake light still works. Left hand indicator, right hand indicator, yay! And they're 180mm apart. Well, they're more than 180mm apart. So it's even an MOT pass. Wow. That's amazing. Anyway, let's turn this ignition off before I kill the bike. There you go. Tidy that up a bit. Seat back on. And it's all done. But that is my new, well, tail tidy for my GSX 1400. Because the indicators are in here, which isn't far enough apart to pass an MOT, and the number plate light wasn't working. So I made a new one. I'm so versatile. Anyway, that's enough for today. Ta-ra.